Hi everybody, still morning, but I'm going to put a bunch of these together and just give one video at the end of the day, if possible, rather than just burying you with videos like I did yesterday. So I apologize in advance if it's kind of long. As you can see, I moved the file cabinets, did it before my wife was awake. Then I brought her in here and showed it to her and told her that, hey, you wouldn't be able to get in this file cabinet. Based on where the layout was going to be. So she's good with it, and actually she wants to get rid of this one eventually, so that's good with me. Scanner down there on the top of the little one is going to go, so that's not, I just put it there to get it out of the way. So I'm going to walk forward here. Apologize for the shakiness. So this is the track height, or the, I guess you should say, the roadbed height. Depending on the height of the track, but I mean that's the bottom of the ties. It needs to be that high. Now because I've got a 1-inch foam, I've got a door, and I've got a little shim down there to keep from pinching the wires on top of the bracket. It's 2.5 inches, so this needs to be the top of the bracket height. Now I've got my studs marked here. Just did that for you guys. I mean, I can see the pencil marks, but you couldn't. Obviously, if I put a bracket here, I'll never make that curve to make the layout. So again, this is just for the brackets. I can move the layout back and forth a few inches once it's up there, but I am not going to put the layout up with any drywall anchors. It's going into studs. Those brackets are mounted on studs. I'm not messing around with anything else. So I'm going to put a bracket here and a bracket here and then one down at the end. And you can see that's not really past the file cabinet, and I know the layout does not stick out as far as this file cabinet, so the door will still open. She's good with it. That will give me plenty of space to make the curve and to connect with Chillicothe. I may have to sort of like go out and then like come back a little bit, sort of make an S-curve. I don't know. So I'm going to go ahead and start working on mounting the brackets, and I'll shoot videos periodically, short ones as I go, and then hopefully at the end of the day you'll get to see the whole thing up. Alright, X marks the spot. So that is the level that this bracket needs to be at. And then I need to have this over top, have it like that, so I can screw it into the stud. So just wanted to show you how I'm doing it. And after I get this first one up, I will use levels to the next one. Now I do want to say one thing. If I'm a little low, I'm good, because I can shim it up. If I'm a little high, that's a problem. So I'm going to go down intentionally, maybe about 1/8 of an inch or 1/4 inch on all these, because I can shim this one up. I can't shim it down. So if you're trying to join something, keep that in mind. I don't want to have to lower Chillicothe, so I'm going to go ahead and make sure this is down just a hair from where it needs to be. Alright, first wall mount is in. If my calculations are correct, here I am just a hair low, which is what I want. Maybe a 1/4 inch low. I can shim a 1/4 inch, no problem. Like I said, if I was the other way, I'd have a problem. Tell you a quick story. When I was, a long time ago, I helped build houses for a very short time. I was the assistant to this guy who was a pretty good carpenter. And he'd say, I need it, for example, I need 53 7/8, cut the line, or 53 7/8, leave the line. And so basically that was his way of adjusting. So I'm actually going to leave, I'm going to cut the line, I guess you'd say. I'm going to make it shorter intentionally because I can shim up, can't shim down. So I'm going to mount the rest of them now. Okay, so the brackets are up. Remember the layout is going to sit on top of those. So I just found another opportunity. I say that you don't have problems, you have opportunities. So remember, my fascia hangs down lower than these brackets do. So since my layout is not as wide as this file cabinet. No way I'm clearing this file cabinet without notching the fascia. I don't think. So I'm going to set it up here in a second and see, but I think that I'm going to have to mark and notch the fascia. So like I said, it's just another opportunity. I guess my ciphering was off. It does clear the filing cabinet, but obviously this is where it's sitting on the spacers that I have already glued to the underside of the layout to clear the wires. And obviously can't have it like this. I can't open the door right now. I don't want it that close to the door. I'm going to slide the whole layout to the left as far as I can. So my fascia is actually going to be against this bracket. I think I will still have room to make the turn down there. Again, I'm just going to play with it and see what works out best. I can set it on the wiring right now. I can figure out where those blocks need to be, and then I can glue blocks to it. That's not a problem. Alright, I moved it a few inches to the left. Obviously it's not sitting on those spacers anymore because it's almost touching the file cabinet. Can I make a small staging yard here? Yeah, I can curve in front of the door and either have to lock, I can lock the door when I'm operating so no one can come in from outside, or I can leave the door open and just have it visible. But that's doable anyhow. So coming on across, yes, I can. Obviously, I have enough space here where I can, since the track is already angled back this way. By the way, that's you guys' fault because you're the ones that told me to not keep it parallel. So, so I'm blaming you for that. But I can go back and then I can make a curve. See if I can do it with my finger. I can go back and I can make a pretty wide curve and then come back and I can S-curve and come into Chillicothe. That won't be a problem. If I decide to have the grain elevator, the spur will come off this track here and it'll go back into here, whichever grain elevator I have. Again, I don't want anything back here. I won't be able to reach it. So I will probably try to cove this corner a little bit. And this may just be it's probably just going to be like a scenery zone, like Lance Midtime says about scenery zones. If the grain elevator is here, it's going to be right, not that far past here. So this whole thing down here until it gets into Oak Hill will be a scenery zone, just a transition. And it's probably just going to be a single track. I will probably have these tracks come back together with a turnout and just have one track, because I only have one track here. I got to do it sometime. Rather do it here while the track is straight anyhow. So I'm going to mark where this is sitting. Fairly happy with it. Oh, by the way, you can see I'm a little low. That's not a problem to me. Matter of fact, I can put my level on it here. Let me do that and I'll show you what that looks like. It's kind of hard to do. I've got this end resting on the foam there, but since that's all scenic, it's kind of hard to match up, and this one is resting on the foam. So I think I need to shim Oak Hill up, a quarter inch or so. And since I'm going to be putting the shims on anyhow, I'll just get some plywood that's thick enough. I'll put them on there first and before I glue them down, see how thick I need. But I think I am pretty happy with this placement. It's not going to interfere with the door, and I'd see how the lighting balances line up, because again, like I said, this is different stuff. I can't guarantee. That's 13 inches between the from here to here is 13 inches. By the way, if you think it's unlevel, it's 13 inches of both ends and the layout's level. I've checked it in several different places. I can't remember what I made it when I made Oak Hill. It's either 12 or 13 inches. So, when I redo this fascia, that's not going to change that dimension because it's the top edge. But I may want to redo the top fascia on Oak Hill. we'll see. I'll try. I've got to make them match up, and then if it's just going to be a bridge through there, don't need to worry about lighting and valence and all that. But if it's going to be a actual section of layout, then I'm going to have to worry about making it look pretty seamless. So let me figure out what I need to do for braces. Okay, I've got my big level on here as good as I can. I sort of moved ITT Grinnell to sit it on the foam there, going at an angle over here, and I think this is tilted down just a hair, but I've got 3/4 inch shims. They're just sitting under there. There's not much of a gap, and you can see it's level enough for me to work with anyhow. So now I'm going to fix the shims in place. I'm going to trace around where they're at, glue them in. Wood glue doesn't take too long to set up. And then I'll put the layout back down like it is now and think about screwing it down. By the way, the reason why you're not seeing me today is because I got up this morning, took a shower, and I took the dog for a walk. And it's still pretty cold here, so I put a hat on, so hair's kind of funky looking. But after I got back, just so you know, I am living in Kentucky, but I was born and raised in Ohio. Didn't live down here till I was grown up. So this is a toboggan. Okay, that's what we call it up north. It's a toboggan. I know it didn't make much sense, but it's a toboggan, not a ski cap. So let you know my roots. All right, I just laid the layout down on the floor, and spacers are 3/4 inch, and actually they're going to be just to the right of the previous spacers I put on, because I moved the layout to the left, and I put a screw in them and I glued them. Remember those screws, this hollow core door, so it's not really going into much, but I'll wait till the glue dries. So I'm going to let this glue set up for about an hour before I put it into place. And you can see my NCE thing here, which I will probably end up taking out. Although it's in a good enough location where I could leave this one and take the other one out. Since I'm redoing the other fascia, I have to see just which one makes more sense to leave in. Well, the layout base is screwed in place. It's all level. Again, I think I'll take a little finagling, but I'll be able to have a little staging yard down here. Again, doesn't have to be very long, but it's definitely going to block the door. I haven't even mentioned it to my wife about making a permanent connection here yet. Just working on this. And then I'll have the staging yard down here, which will double track, go into the shelf and curve just like the previous one did. And I would say it'll be about, I don't know, between maybe 4 feet long total track. Should be enough for what I'm going to be running anyhow. Not running any 20-car trains. Do want to come over here, and so this was how I had fastened my little 13-inch extension on. So basically, first thing I did, remember this is just an edge glued board, this one is, so I glued and screwed like a 1x4 onto here, maybe 1x3, and then I put a little 1x2 or furring strip on top of that, glued it down, and then I put a piece of plywood on top of that, and then another piece of plywood out to the wall, and the opposite side of the wall was supported with a shelf bracket. This is not wanting to come off. I've really been working trying to get it off. I don't want to just beat and jar everything on the layout. So I may just have to live with it. I may just have to figure out how to, adapt, my connection and use that thing there. So, just another thing I'm struggling with. One other thing is, like I said, the distance between the bottom and the top is 13 inches. This is only about 11.5. So I've got some cut up a 2x4. I painted it, so I'm going to put spacers in up here. You can see I had spacers before, but those aren't thick enough, and plus, just like I had to move the whole layout to the left, I need to move this to the left so it lines up. So after that's dry, I'll put the spacers in, and then I should have 13 inches to match the other one. But again, I don't know what I'm going to do with my backdrop yet, or if I will redo these fascias and into like one solid piece, because obviously I've got a curve here somehow. So I'll probably take that out because this throttle will easily reach down here. I can easily run both layouts with the one throttle. I just have to figure out how to have two throttles in case I ever have somebody over. So again, I know that's not a big deal. I just haven't looked into it. So I'll figure out how to do that. But I'll probably take that out and cover it with a plate or something like that, unless I need it for the other throttle. And of course, I've still got my connections here that I put in for when I had the other staging yards. I can use the one down here for my staging yard, because it's going to have to be removable. But I don't know if this is going to be removable down here yet or not. So after the glue dries, or the paint dries, give me a couple hours and I will put the spacers in there, and I will turn the lights on, and you'll be able to see where I'm at by the end of the day on Sunday. Well, I'm done for today. I'm going to pull out a Kentucky expression for you. I've done had the lick. Means I'm tired. It's been a busy weekend. I've also painted a wall in the art room where the Chillicothe layout was for my wife. Patched the holes where the brackets were and painted that for her so she can start to put some stuff up there, and she wants to be able to put a shelf up. So I may get into that tonight. But this is all you're going to get out of me tonight. I'm not running the train. I'm not doing anything else. Oak Hill is level. They're at the same level here. I've got the spacers in, so the gap is essentially the same. The gap on Oak Hill is like an 1/8 or 1/4 inch more between the two fascias than Chillicothe, but that's close enough for me. So like I said, I'm just going to call it an evening, maybe work on some stuff for her since she's been so good about this, and then depending how it goes, maybe I'll talk about what I can do here with her, if she wants me to make it a removable bridge or if I can just close that in. Anyhow, I will let you know. It's been a good weekend, but a very tiring weekend. Tomorrow, 5 o'clock in the morning, I'm getting up, going into work, start training the class at 6 in the morning, and I'm going to be training that class for the next 4 weeks pretty much. So and 1 week of that I have to go to Indiana, so it's don't know how much I'll get done coming up, but I've buried you guys with enough videos this weekend that you should be okay. So hope everybody stays safe, and I will talk to you soon.